Let's go and start off with some basic stretches. Start off in a diamond position, soles of the feet together, and just kind of rock from side to side to loosen up the low back and just kind of make sure that you're not holding on to any tension that's going to work against you. And then from here, go ahead and grab onto your shins and then pull the chest forward and open and then back. So you're rocking from the pelvis front to back. Trying not to tense out the low back, but actually kind of feel it open up a little bit. And start to give yourself a couple of exaggerated deep breaths. Yes, breathing does help release tension, and an abs class usually tends to add restriction, which is one of the bad sides of it, but a necessary evil sometimes. But we want to alleviate that as much as possible. From here, go ahead and find your maximum height, whatever feels comfortable to you, and just start with some side reaches. Over side to side. Going as fast or as slow as you feel comfortable, but try to keep both sides of the butt on the floor, so as you're doing this, you're not kind of like rocking over side to side. You want to feel the stretch all the way from the top of the ribs all the way down through the bottom of the pelvis. So reaching and breathing. About 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and stretch both feet forward, flex the heels, and then grab as low as you're willing to go. Good old-fashioned sit and reach. And what I want you to do is press the heels forward and send the sit bones way back so you have a little bit of a flat back. And then from here, once you've got your stretch, go ahead and waddle the butt side to side. So we're holding the hamstring stretch and we're just kind of waddling side to side. It's not a very attractive stretch, but it should loosen up the hips and low back nice and easily. One of my favorite ones to do. 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 more stretches to go. We're going to go into a seated twist. So cross the leg over. My yogis, I know you love to go this way. You can grab around, hooking from the elbow. However feels good to you. Just go for a twist that actually lifts. Think corkscrew up. Just stay here and breathe for just a second. And one more breath. Go ahead and take it to the other side when you're ready to. Nice and easy. We're going to do a T-spine twist. So this is going to have you on your knee in a kneeling position for this next thing. So as we're going into this, if you need to get some extra padding for your knee, please feel free to do so. You're good. So at this point, what you can do is go into your kneeling stretch. Go ahead and have the leg that is closest. If you're in profile, have the leg that is closest to your screen come forward so that you're actually leaning forward. I'd like for you to bend forward, making sure that your hips are square to the front and not kind of open and twisted out. So headlights on your hip bones, the headlights would be pointing right towards your knee, just coming forward and back, nice and easy. Now from here, find your middle between the forward press and just kind of upright. Find halfway up there. Keep the hips square. Squeeze your butt. Arms are going to come forward. From here, we're just doing T-spine twists. Open and then twist to the other way. Nice and easy glide through the torso. Not really wrenching anything, just kind of opening the chest. Try your best to keep the chest up. Sometimes we do this. So you want to be lifted. About 2 more times. And then from here, last time, go ahead and clasp the hands behind you, roll the shoulders open, and if you want to, go ahead and stretch forward, push through into a deeper hip flexor stretch. We're just going to get that on the other side, and we'll be on to our first series of the day. Go ahead and switch legs. Starting with the knee bends, going forward and back. Just checking out your hips, make sure that they stay nice and square. You're going to need that for the T-spine twist. Just opening up through the hip flexor about 1 or 2 more times, and then find your halfway between. So you're not upright, you're not all the way into the deep stretch, you're about halfway there. Squeeze your butt right there, arms come forward, and start your T-spine twists. So you're lifting as you twist. And keep on breathing. So you should feel a nice little that happens. That is your transverse abdominals and your obliques working together. Try your best not to let it feel restrictive, but do feel that integration. About 2 more times. And then from here, clasp the hands behind you. Draw the knuckles down your backside, open the chest, and go as deep as you feel like you want to go. Just for a second here, we're going to start with a series. The way that I do my series, we're going to do each exercise. We've got about 5 or 6 of them in a row that we're going to do them individually, and then we'll do them as a series where it's non-stop. Hopefully by the end of the class, which usually is the case, we'll be able to repeat it a second time. So our first exercise, what I'd like for you to do is start seated. We're going to do roll downs. If you've got low back tension, be cautious on this one. We're going to ease into this one. So starting off with your hands underneath your thighs, what I want to do is just start small and just kind of rock your pelvis back. So you're trying to get your tailbone to connect to the floor. So your hands are there to kind of make sure that you're not over compressing your spine or overworking from your hip flexors. Try to keep that idea as we roll all the way down. Go nice and slow, peel the back from the tailbone all the way down to the floor. Feel that tough spot right about there, and then lower it down. If you're able to, try and roll back up. If your legs are shorter than your torso, that's easier said than done. You can lift yourself up and then go and get into the roll down all the way, okay? Another method that could work for you is to lengthen the legs. So sometimes that little added leverage will help you get up. But I want to make this really more about the articulation of the spine. So however you choose to do it, hands underneath the thighs, rolling down, and then getting back up, or legs long, rolling down, and rolling all the way back up. I don't normally like to do the variation where people use the arms because I see the worst bad habit where we throw the arms to bring ourselves up, right? Momentum is not going to help you with musculature, so you want to make sure that you're squeezing and feeling that articulation all the way up. We're going to keep this going for another 20 seconds or so, going as slow or as fast as you want to, but really feeling the spine peel all the way down and all the way up, and then using your hands on your thighs as much as you feel like you need to, just to kind of bypass any over clenching from the low back. This is probably the hardest of the series personally, just because it's not equal on every single body. If you've got a really, really long torso and short legs, this is a nasty one. 3, 2, and 1. From here, simple crunch series. 16 times. Up and regular crunches. 3, 4. Trying to make sure that your elbows are separating. 5, so you're not ripping off your head. Let's go for 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're going to keep on going. 3, but we're going to add a twist. Abs work 101. We're going to go side to side, cross, cross. But as we do this, can you feel the shoulder blades push into the floor? So it's not so much about coming up, it's really about pushing down. So you can feel the downward pressure of your shoulder blade. That's going to activate your back musculature, make this a little bit safer. Maybe 4 more. 3. Now from here, the only thing that's going to change, we're going to go back to the center crunches, but the legs are going to come to tabletop. So in the tabletop position, keep on going. Your knees should be right above your hips, right? Sometimes I see people totally cheat and then they hike it in. We want to have a little bit of leverage playing against your lower abdominals. If you're feeling pretty badass, you can totally go for a leg lift. That's up to you, but tabletop is usually fine. 4 more times. 4 and 3. From here, the legs stay where they are. We're just going to go into a basic twist. So same crunch, same press of the shoulder blade. 16 of these or so, depending on how fast you're going. 5, 6, 7. Let's go for 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then from here, let the head relax on the floor. Arms are going to go down. Go ahead and take both legs up to the ceiling. The knees can be a little bit bent. What I want you to do is drop one leg and then bring it right back up to center. So you're letting the momentum of the leg drop get caught right in your lower abdominals. So the lower abdominals catch it. Now from here, I want you to bend the opposite leg so there's some opposition. So press the knee up and drop. Up and drop. So the knee in this one is coming up to your face just to keep the hips a little bit more stable, because what you don't want to have happen in any kind of leg drop is to have the back arch. If your back peels off the floor, that's probably no bueno. You want to keep the lower abdominals pretty much situated. For some people that means spine will be placed on the floor, but that's not the case for everybody. You might have a little bit of space underneath. That's okay as long as you're supported. About 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and let that go. We're going to go into bridges, getting the glutes. Press and up. Press and up. Really, really basic, very, very simple bridge presses. This is an opportunity in the middle of this series to kind of re-lengthen all of that hip flexor stuff. We just did a couple of exercises that are really hip flexor heavy, so this is your opportunity to lengthen it out. Going from maximum height in your hips, if you feel any compression in your low back, that might mean that you're leading from your ribs, right? You want to lead from your tailbone, tucking through your thighs, and going to your max height. Also, check the weight in your feet. You should be driving mostly through your heels as you do this. 4 more times. 4. Now, what I want you to do is cut this in half. Only do the top half of the press. So here's what that is. Lift it all the way up, lower it only halfway down, and then lift it up again. We're going to do this double time. It's only halfway up and down, kind of like a pulse. Here we go. Press, 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 press. Really squeezing, really lengthening the lower back. Almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. We have one more exercise for the abdominals that we're going to do. This one is, it's kind of like the leg drops that we did earlier, but you're going to be doing both of them together, but from a tabletop position. So really quickly, hands are going to go down kind of like in an A shape, right? Palms down, and then from here you're going to tap both legs on the ground and then bring it back up. Toes down and then lift it back up. So as you continue to do this, you're really starting to feel the lower abdominals push into the floor. If you're feeling really strong, you could go for a tailbone lift. So you're lifting the tailbone up about 1 inch. What I don't want to see happen is this, where we're using nothing but hip flexors to swing the legs, right? We want to have the legs pretty much come to tabletop, so knees right above your hips, and pretty much no further than that, unless you do the tailbone lift. All right, that's level 1. I'm going to show you level 2 right away. This one is you're going to lower it in a twist. So you're dropping to one side of the legs and then bring it back to neutral. Twist and drop. Twist and drop. Twist and drop. So it's like I'm laying the side of my feet on the ground and then I push into the floor to lift the tailbone. All the way down and up. Go for about like 5 more. 3-ish. 2 and 1, and then from here, butterfly presses. Go ahead and press the soles of the feet together and really feel them kind of drive together so you can feel your inner thighs. So you're in this frog position. From here, you're just going to lift your hips off the floor. I don't care how high they go, but we're going to be using our glute medius. So up and down, up and down. So pretty basic exercises with a couple of twists here and there. This is your first series. We've gone through all the exercises. We're going to go 30 seconds per exercise all the way through everything that we've done so far. From the roll-ups all the way down through these butterflies. 30 seconds every exercise. If you feel like you're kind of like clenching in any part of your body, I want you to stop and then come back in when you're ready. Because if you're clenching, that means you're compromising your form. That means you've cooked the muscle we're aiming for. Good job. Rest and then come in when you're ready to. So no clenching, no gripping. Here we go. Roll-ups. 30 seconds. Starting off in the seated position. Hands are underneath your thighs. 30 seconds starts now. Rolling down and rolling up. Remember, the focus for this one was trying to feel your body or your spine peeling up and down. So you're feeling the individual vertebrae connect and then detach from the floor individually. Low back to mid back to upper back, and then reverse. And you can do this as slow or as fast as you want to. It really is about the articulation. You're done in 3, 2, 1. Regular crunches. Up, up. Trying to keep the elbows nice and wide open. This is movement number 2. 30 seconds here. Remember, there were 4 sets of crunches right in a row. Right down the center, then twisting, shoulder blade pressing into the floor. Then we do the same 2 things in tabletop position. Ready for the twists. Feet on the floor, ready, set, and twist. And again, we're doing this as a timed drill, so I'm not going to dictate, do 16 of these, 15 of these. For this class, I don't really care too much about reps, you could take the full 30 seconds to do like 2. As long as they're good, you're good. Don't worry about it. For those of you that like to go fast, watch your form. Don't just kind of power through and let it be sloppy. Really focus it. Where are you working from? And ready, tabletop, right down the middle. So no twisting, tabletop. Check your knees, make sure that they're not coming in too far. Chest is lifting, elbows open. This is where it gets fun. This is why I put that bridge in the middle of the whole thing, because it was kind of like, I can't just keep on harping on the same muscle over and over again. We have to have a little bit of a break in there. All right, so keep your legs in tabletop. Then from here, shoulder blades pressed for your twist. 30 seconds here. So as the abdominals start to get tired, which by now, holy Christ, I know, yeah. Start to really feel what other abdominal muscles can assist to take some of that load off. This shoulder blade pressing is one of those examples. So as you push into the floor, you're going to get a little bit more assistance from your obliques. Your obliques have to kind of leverage that. So it's a little bit more of a holistic approach to your core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Now we have leg drops. So 1 leg drops, 1 knee hikes to the face. So this one can feel a little bit tight on your hip flexor. Know that the next thing we do is your bridge presses. So you get to stretch those out in just a second. Almost done. Ready for bridges in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down on the ground. Press it up. We're only going to do the pulses this time, so do a couple of regular full range of motion ones, and then when you're ready, go to your pulse. Going faster a little bit. Check your feet. Make sure you've still got tons of weight driving through your heels so you can feel it in El Junco and El Trunco. That is exactly what we're trying to feel. No compression in the spine. Tailbone scooping. Stretch out the hip flexors. You're almost done with this. Then we're going to do those twisted leg drops in 3, 2, and 1. So starting off regular and then adding the twist when you're ready. And then of course, if you want to, you can add that little bit of a tailbone loft right at the bottom. Trying not to swing the legs. Think of them as going down up, not over your head. Almost done. 5. Butterfly presses are the last one in this series. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soles of the feet together. Find the squeeze, and then start your lifts. So this muscle, I know this is not a very sexy exercise. This is not one that you would want to like do on the gym floor. People might be like, well, what are they doing? But the benefit for this is your is all of your hip stabilization and also your perky butt muscle. So you've got your inner thighs and your hamstrings squeezing the feet together, but you've also got your glute medius lifting the pelvis. Your glute medius is the muscle that lifts your glute max. So I'm tapping into your vanity here. Hopefully it works. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good from here. Already did. Go ahead and take the legs over to one side for supine twist. This time, try to really think about length. So instead of just letting gravity just kind of like bleh, drop, right? Try to think oppositional pull. So I'm trying to get this kneecap away from these fingers. So the knee is pulling across and the arms are reaching away. Take one more breath and swing it around other side. Let the legs find the position first and then develop the intention. Kneecap driving away, arm reaching the opposite direction. And then give yourself one more deep breath. From here, go ahead and find a seated position. We have to release your low back at this point. We have to. We must. So soles of the feet together, or if you are familiar with fire log, you can go to fire log. So fire log is toe to knee, knee to toe. Oftentimes people have a hard time getting your knee all the way down. That's okay. What we need to do is we need to do side reaches. So we're going to do this twice. So if you're in fire log, you'll be able to switch your legs. If you're in diamond position, is this one, you'll get to do it twice, okay? So side-to-side reaches. Oftentimes when I finish abdominal classes, one of the most neglected things that people walk out of the room without really stretching, which is an important one, are your rotators. The rotators of the hip, right? Hugely, hugely important. Whenever your hip flexors are tensed, consider that those are probably tensed as well. But your rotators have this funny thing where if they don't get to release, they just stay compressed. And then from here, go to fold forward, bringing the chest forward rather than just dropping your face. So if you're in diamond, you're going to do that exact same thing again. If you're in fire log, we're going to get the other side. 3, 2, 1, and switch the legs, or diamond, back to your side-to-side reaches. And you can take your time. If you feel like you want to stay here at this point, do it. It's totally fine. Just get both sides. So if your rotators are super, super tight, it can make you prone for things like sciatica. Anybody who's ever gone on a roller and their piriformis was on fire, if you know what I'm talking about, that's what that's all about. You gotta really, really make sure that the rotators are not compressed, because unlike the larger muscles, let's go and lean forward, unlike the larger muscles, which are a lot more adept at knowing how to release, the small muscles are the ones that take out and end careers, right? The smaller muscles are the ones that'll get you, because they have a harder time really knowing when to release.
Hey, did you enjoy class? I hope so. So if you're interested in taking more classes with me, there's tons of ways to sign up. So to get yourself into class, all you gotta do is decide if you want to do a membership or if you want to do class by class. If you want to go class by class, you just buy a 5 class pass, 10 class pass, 20 class pass, however you want, or you can opt to be a member. There are 2 types of membership. You can either be a full access member, where you get access to everything, all the classes on demand anytime, plus the full video library of constantly updated classes. I record every class I do every week, and you'll have access to take those classes anytime you want. We also have the video only membership, which gives you the option to have access to that full library without going to the full throttle membership. Now that's for people who might have more unpredictable schedules, or maybe the class times don't work for you. That option is available to you as well. Plus, with membership, you also get access to full discounts. You get access to a lot of giveaways, tons of options with memberships. And you can choose from a huge variety of class types, from flexibility training classes like flowing flexibility, foam roll, all the way to strength conditioning, bar classes, ballotone classes, or some of the high intensity interval training like HIIT, Tabata. All that stuff is available to you. And just by having an active pass of any kind, either a membership or a class pass, you have access to an updated library of classes the whole time, whenever you want. And just by participating, you get to be a part of the rewards program, which is points that go directly towards dollars, which you can put towards free fitness gear, free classes, special events, membership payments, all kinds of stuff. So points equals dollars. You get points just simply by taking class, by being there, by showing up, by helping share on social media the things that you did with Ken Scott Fitness. Tons of ways to get points, tons of ways to spend them. Super, super fun, and it's super engaging as well. So I hope you like what you saw, and if you ever have any questions, you can reach out to me at ken@kenscottfitness.com. I'd love to hear from you, and hopefully I'll see you in class.